Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the KazKast. Just me today. A little different format change considering, the people I normally do this with are pretty busy nowadays. So I'm thinking maybe I just do some of these episodes solo because I've been asked by some of the people in my Discord. And for those of you who don't know, I'm mainly a streamer. I'm not much of a content creator, as in like a video producer. I don't know how video editing works. It's pretty complicated and it's a lot of work, and I'm really lazy. So I usually just play and stream the game. I don't really record or edit videos. I probably should, but I just don't. I never did. So yeah, I mainly stream on Twitch. Same channel name and everything, KazGator, but yeah, some people in my Discord have asked me to start recording this again because for some reason they seem to like it. I always thought this was a subpar series that doesn't really deserve any recognition or attention, but hey, if someone wants it, I guess I'll do it because it's not really that hard. And if someone wants to enjoy it, I guess I'll do my best. That's all I can really do, I guess. So, the date of this recording is January 19th, 2021. It's been I won't go into too much detail about 2020. You guys know what it was about. You guys lived through it. Today, I wanted to talk about some more serious topics, such as scheduling issues and regularity when it comes to creating content like this or with streams in general. And I also want to talk about health issues that I'm kind of dealing with and maybe some future plans for me because I do have some things in the works. And if you're curious about the background video, this is dubbed over a stream I did a few days ago about Hades. I think this is my second time playing Hades, and I think this VOD is about 3 hours long. Anyways, yeah, when it comes to scheduling and regularity, I have a lot of issues because I deal with a lot of mental issues myself, a lot of personal issues, a very severe case of depression and anxiety. Like, so much so that sometimes it's hard for me to either even brush my teeth or take a shower in the day. I really have to think about it. Like when I have to shower, and I know it's a day that I have to shower, because I don't shower every day because it's a waste of money, because I don't go outside that often. Which is weird, but if you think it's weird, I'm very poor. So I can't really afford to waste water. You know what I mean? So, even simple things like that normal people are pretty, accustomed to dealing with, I have a lot of trouble with. And, it's not so much the fact that I don't want to do this. I really enjoy streaming. I enjoy producing the KazKast. And I have, even though there's only 10 episodes and the KazKast is like, 2 years old now? Man, it's hard because I also deal with a lot of attention issues. I have, at least I'm pretty sure I have some sort of attention deficit disorder. I haven't had a chance to talk to a doctor about it yet because, nobody's really had the chance to see a doctor in like the last year, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, lately I've been trying a lot harder to be a regular streamer, and some days are better than others and some games are easier to stream than others, but I still think it's fun and I really do enjoy it, and I really do appreciate and love the people who come to watch me every time. Makes you feel a lot less lonely. When it comes to the KazKast itself, not just my streams, there's a lot to be said for the fact that most podcasts aren't just one person. They're usually a group of 2, 3, 4 people, and you share your opinions and you discuss it on the podcast. So I fought with myself for a long time because I really don't think my opinions are that interesting. I'm just a dude on the internet. I don't have a big following. I don't have that many friends. So why would anyone care? I didn't record solo podcast episodes for a long time, but I really started to think about it. And well, if no one wants to see a solo podcast, why would you bother to see a solo streamer? And I thought about it, and I kind of realized it doesn't really matter what you create. As long as the people who watch like you, it kind of doesn't matter the format your content takes. You know what I mean? So, oh, there go my dogs. I'm not re-recording this, so you guys get to listen to my dogs. I hope it's not too loud. I apologize. I have 2 dogs. I have a Shih Tzu named Spike. He's a piece of shit. And I have a Yorkshire Maltese mix. They're called Morkies. He's also a shithead, but he's more of a hyper shithead. Spike is more of a, he's royalty. He's a very stuck-up dog. Very hard to get along with. But yeah. In terms of stream regularity, you gotta deal with the same things as normal. Sometimes I really want to stream, but I just don't. So I got some real big executive dysfunction issues where I know I can do something. I have the ability. It would be very easy for me to do something, but I just don't do it. And it's frustrating because there's nothing actually stopping me from doing it. Just a lot of lack of confidence and lack of self-respect. Because generally speaking, I don't really like myself. I don't really think I'm that likable. I don't think I'm very charismatic. I don't think my voice is nice to listen to either, so. And you kind of just, I don't know about other people, but I kind of just hope to God some people find me funny, because that might be my only, redeeming quality. Sometimes I'm funny. I'm not that funny by myself, of course. It's a lot easier to be funny when you have other people to work off of, but that's not what's happening today. But this isn't really meant to be a funny episode either. This is more of a serious episode, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. It might be an hour long. It might be 30 minutes long. I have no idea. But I'm going to keep talking until I feel like I've said what I wanted to say. And this might be a little bit scatterbrained, this episode, but I hope you guys can follow along with me. My thoughts tend to be very scatterbrained and, thoughts move quick. Brain moves faster than my mouth. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about how how do I say this? What's the word that I'm looking for? The market shift when it comes to creating content nowadays. It's very jarring because I started watching YouTube in the early 2010s, late 2010s. So the content of YouTube that I am familiar with and accustomed to doesn't really exist in that many forms anymore. Now, for those of you who don't know me and are just happening to listen to this, I used to be an immense fan of the Super Best Friends. I used to watch them every fucking day. I was a massive fan. Never interacted with the community though, because some of their fans happened to be a little bit crazy. That's neither here nor there though. What's important is to understand the fact that they're gone. And a lot of the style of their videos, that same branch that same technique and style of videos is a lot harder to come by nowadays. Like, I used to be a big fan of the Creatures as well, which basically was the same content. I mean, you have a group of tight-knit friends who are playing games, and you know, I didn't really have many friends. I still don't have many friends, but you know, content like that on YouTube was, you know, a big hit for me. I really liked it. I liked the feeling of having a group of friends I could just listen in on and feel like I was a part of it. I was a really big fan of that, and I've always wanted to emulate that feeling when it comes to my streams, or even the KazKast, really. That's what I really wanted to get across. And I don't know if I just don't look hard enough on YouTube, but I don't find that many content creators who are like that anymore. They just don't have the same feel, and a lot of them just kind of feel forced. Because like some of them, I won't even mention the names because I don't really know them that well, but some of them are like locked in this like office space and they're forced to sit in front of a computer, and it just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. Maybe it was the personalities I enjoyed listening to, but I just don't really like any of those guys anymore. I really don't watch that much YouTube anymore. I end up watching a lot of shows. Well, that's not true. I end up watching a lot of what I call comfort media, which is media that I've probably already watched and have already consumed in a normal fashion. However, I am choosing to rewatch it again because getting into a new series or a new group of people is very tiring mentally for me for some reason. I have a lot of issues with, I want to explore and see new content, but it's very hard for me to start the journey. Like, I don't watch a lot of shows on Netflix or even anime. I don't really watch anime at all, period, which is kind of funny to me, considering how big anime is nowadays and how mainstream it is. I don't know, I've never really liked it that much. There's a few anime I've liked, but I think we can save the topic of anime for another episode, if I ever make another episode. I probably will. It's kind of nice to just talk like this, because usually I'm playing games while I'm talking, and you know, my thoughts kind of get lost in the aether of the stream, because those things are like 3-6 hours long, depending on how fun it is, or how active chat is. So it's kind of nice to just sit like this and have my thoughts not go anywhere, you know? It doesn't get drowned out by chat or myself. It's very nice. That's another thing I'd like to touch up on. I don't watch a lot of Twitch anymore after becoming a streamer. Before I was a streamer, I used to watch Twitch all the time. I was in chats, I was talking to streamers, I was in different streams all the time. But now that I stream, I cannot stand looking at Twitch. I'll be in a Twitch chat for like 15 minutes at most. I can't stand it. Don't know why. I think it's because it's the kind of thing where you spend so much time somewhere that you kind of get sick of it. It's one of those things, I think. Granted, Twitch is not a great website in that of itself, and it's not really a great company, that much being said. So it's understandable that I just don't really like it there anymore. I could switch to streaming on YouTube, but I don't really want to. I started on Twitch, and I'll probably keep streaming on Twitch until either the website dies or it makes such a heinous mistake that I have to move. And we haven't gotten there yet. Might happen soon, all things considered, but we're fine so far. I'm fine so far. But yeah, the demographics and the style of YouTube videos over time has changed quite a lot. It used to be you were able to just, you know, pump out videos and, you know, minimal editing required. Kind of like how I do this, kind of like how, you know, you just record the raw file of your gameplay, then your voice, match it together, throw that shit on YouTube. it's not that easy anymore. A lot of YouTube videos nowadays, even the poorly made ones, have such levels of editing that it's like, for a schmuck like me, it's kind of jarring that getting into YouTube's hard. Like, it used to be so easy, now it's legitimately difficult. So everyone's taken to streaming because streaming is 10 times easier. You just sit there like an idiot in front of a microphone and play a video game. You don't have to record, you don't have to publish videos, you don't have to deal with the back end of YouTube that everyone, literally everyone, hates. I have never spoken to a single person who had anything nice to say about the back end of YouTube. And I don't really understand why the company is like that. I don't really understand why some of these tech companies just keep making worse and worse decisions that they can see and hear that their user base don't like. Like, nobody likes some of the changes that they implement, but they always just keep making it. Just keep making bad decisions again and again, and it's very disheartening. Granted, I'm not a very big content creator, but for some of those content creators, I can imagine how frustrating it can be and how powerless you can feel against like a bigger company, or, you know, being under the control of such a large company that really doesn't care or respect you. Very disheartening. And there's something I wanted to lead into talking about things like that. How the style and demographics of content, of video game content on the internet have changed. And I wanted to bring up VTubers because there are some important things to take note of and to remember now that VTubers are getting extremely popular now. Now, if you don't know what a VTuber is a virtual YouTuber. 9 times out of 10, they take the form of a little girl in the bottom right of the screen, and they're usually, not always, but usually 2D animated, and use facial recognition software to track the user's face and, you know, map it to the 2D animation. Now, I when I first heard about them, personally, I didn't like them. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I hated that idea because at the time I thought it was just an extension of the idea of having a webcam in the bottom right of the screen. I cannot stand streams or YouTube videos that just have this person's stupid face in the bottom right of the screen. I don't like it. I don't want to see you. I didn't come here to see your dumb face. I came here to see the video game and to listen to you talk. Well, that's my personal feelings of it. I don't know about you guys, but still, I thought it was just an extension of that. And surprisingly, I got pretty hooked on watching them after I realized, man, well, it was, let me tell you the story of what happened. It was one night where I was playing Minecraft by myself because I was really depressed. I was in a really bad mood, and I had been for maybe 3 or 4 days. I just spent the last 3 or 4 days lying in bed for like 24 hours straight. I felt horrible. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to watch anything. And I got a craving. I got a craving to play Minecraft and listen to someone else talk in the background while I played Minecraft along with them. Because that's what I used to do when I was younger. Back when Minecraft was first released, I used to play Minecraft and listen to YouTube videos in the background of other people also playing Minecraft. Because I didn't have any friends. And it felt comforting knowing that other people were playing the same game as me, even though they weren't playing with me. It felt comforting for me. And I got a recommendation on YouTube for, I believe it was Amelia Watson of Hololive EN, or Hololive English to be specific, and I decided, it wasn't a live stream, it was a VOD of her past live stream from a few days ago, and I thought, well, I've already rewatched some of those old Creature Minecraft series way too much, so I might as well listen to something different while I do this. So I turned her on. I didn't turn her on. I don't know the girl, but it's a bad joke. So I put her video on in the background, put some headphones on, and I just started playing Minecraft. And I was kind of uncomfortable with the idea at first, considering my initial opinion of VTubers. But I'm gonna be honest, it kind of grew on me after a while. After I skipped her intro and everything, 'cause I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna sit there and watch an intro from a VOD. Like, no, I'm not. I don't give a shit. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her and I'm like, man, this gives me really big like nostalgia for those days when I used to listen to the creatures and play Minecraft. So I kept doing it. And before I knew it, I switched from watching a lot of Amelia Watson to watching a lot of Gargora. Now, Gargora herself is a very interesting VTuber. Because right out the gate, she hit 1 million subs within like a week of debuting, which is really impressive. Mostly because she became a meme. But it's also because, well, I probably shouldn't talk about that because it's kind of an unspoken rule. You're not supposed to bring up a VTuber's prior endeavors or YouTube channels because it's considered rude. Her old channel made some of the biggest fucking memes of like last year, 2019, even 2018, I'm pretty sure. Like, Gargora was responsible for some pretty good memes. I won't name them because you'll put one and one together and look at her fucking old YouTube channel, but anyways, I started watching her a lot, and before I knew it, I had fallen into a hole. I had fallen into a pit, a 10-foot pit in the dirt, and I was staring up because, here I was, 5 days in a row doing nothing but playing Minecraft and watching VTuber after VTuber after VTuber. They were all Hololive girls, by the way. I'm a real big fan of the Hololive girls. And I realized that, does it really matter? Like, honestly, does it really matter who you're watching as long as you're having a good time? Like, don't get me wrong. I never fanboyed over any of these streamers. I just kind of watched them and I enjoyed watching the clips of them. So it was kind of weird. I was in a weird spot. I simultaneously hated and liked watching the Hololive girls because I didn't like VTubers still. I was still iffy about them, but I kind of realized that it doesn't really matter that they're VTubers. I would probably still watch them regardless of their shitty little avatar in the corner because a lot of them are genuinely interesting and funny people to watch. But that being said, I probably never would have clicked on them if it weren't for the avatar, which is an interesting dynamic because I look at the whole VTuber thing in a different kind of light now, where it's like it's not so much comparative to a webcam in the corner as it is a nice median in between of having a webcam and having nothing. I'm a very shy person. I'm a kind of a private person. I don't really like showing people what I look like. I'm not that handsome. I'm average, I like to think, but some people would call me ugly. So I thought over time, my opinion kind of shifted, and I thought, maybe VTubers aren't so bad. Because it's nice for shy people like me to have a way to express their facial expressions and emotions without having to look directly at a camera, you know? And I thought that was a nice idea. That being said, it's still a strange thing to think and talk about, because how do I put it? It's like, I still don't like the idea at the end of the day. I don't really like the idea that a company can just, hire. Is it really that much of an issue now that I think about it? I guess it kind of is. These streamer companies coming in and this is a good way to tie, or there's a good example of this with the new VTuber group, VShojo, if you don't know. I don't like the idea of companies forming and snatching up popular content creators to form these like super groups. I really hate that idea, because that's how you kind of destroy an ecosystem of smaller content creators, That's like when Walmart buys out a mom and pop shop. It's not, at the end of the day, I understand that it's not good. So, that's my thoughts on that. 26 minutes? Feels like it's been an hour. Man, solo recording videos is hard. We're gonna keep going for a little bit more, though. I got a little bit more to talk about. In terms of me, going forward in 2021, I will probably record more KazKast, either by myself or with a friend, or you never know who's gonna show up. I'm also helping record another friend's podcast. He's called, maybe you know him, you probably do if you're listening to this. He's called The Dropout Dragon. He's a pretty big he's a pretty big streamer on Twitch. He's got a YouTube channel, and I am helping him record the KazKast, which is a more professional version of this podcast, but not by a lot. We're both kind of doing the same thing. We're both really relaxed about it, but his version's a little bit more, I would say it's a bit more formal, on all honesty, because I don't really write topics for this. I just kind of wing it. I suppose we do the same thing over there, though. Anyways, you should really check that out, because I think the episodes are funny, and I had a lot of fun recording them. So, but yeah, my plans for 2021. I would like to continue streaming, and hopefully I get a little bit more popular. I'm very poor, and I would like money. Popularity doesn't guarantee money, but it's very hard to find a job now. I'm actually in a province-wide lockdown right now, so I couldn't even get a job if I wanted to. Not to mention, if I catch a whiff of the virus, I'm going to like instantly explode, because my immune system is very poor, and I have a lot of already underlying health conditions that if I were to get COVID-19, I would probably end up in the emergency room immediately. Like, I am basically Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, with all the diseases, well, not diseases, with all the medical conditions trying to get through the door, but they're all blocked by each other. One, like, sneeze of COVID-19 and I'd explode. So I'm trying really hard not to do that. I guess the biggest piece of news I can talk about on this is the fact that I myself am planning to become a VTuber. Now, this isn't going to change a lot, honestly, because I'm not going to create a new channel. I'm not going to debut like all the others do. I'm not going to do that. I don't really give a shit about the whole, idol and making this a show thing. That's the nature of my content. I really don't want to change. I like sitting there, hanging out, and playing a video game for like 3 or 4 hours, reading chat. I don't like the idea of streaming for 1 or 2 hours and putting on this wacky show with my stupid avatar. That's not what I want. But yeah, I actually have, in the process of this video, I am actually in the waiting of receiving my VTuber model. So now, that itself is an interesting topic to talk about because a lot of the people who watch me and are in my Discord don't really like VTubers. Which puts me in an odd position because here I am spending a few $100s on a model. And I don't even know, and I doubt anybody that currently watches me will really like it. It's kind of a selfish thing I'm doing because I want to do it, but I don't think anybody else who wants to watch me likes it. So, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. My guess is, even if the people who currently watch me don't like it, I think they'll just ignore it. Because it doesn't really, like, nothing's gonna change. I'm not gonna suddenly have a billion, like, watchers. I'm not gonna suddenly be this big, you know, this big person. I'm just gonna have, along with Yoshi down there in the corner, who is, that Yoshi, he is a staple of my fucking stream. He does not leave the corner. He will never leave the corner. I will not get rid of him. He's, like, when I become potato in the corner, I'm just gonna move Yoshi over. I'll put him on my fucking head. Like, he's not leaving. So the nature of my streams and content isn't really gonna change. I just feel like getting a model is a nice way for me. It's really to help me express myself when I'm either streaming or recording something. Because I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. I never have been. Even as a kid, I hated taking pictures. I still do, because honestly, I look terrible right now. My hair is whack. I need a haircut. I actually just shaved today. That's neither here nor there, though. I do wonder how it'll pan out. I also haven't heard anything from the artist, but I'm pretty sure they're working on it. So I'm not even gonna bother them that much. I don't know how long it'll take, honestly. I should probably ask them, give me an ETA, but I'll do it later. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. And it's funny. It's a funny story, actually. When I got the money to commission an artist to make me a model, I was really hesitant because I didn't know if that was the direction I wanted to take for myself. Because I'm gonna be honest, it was quite a lot of money. It hurt me physically, spiritually, and emotionally to pay that much money for a fucking little potato avatar in the corner. But I did it, and I don't really regret it anymore. I regretted it at first because I was like, oh my god, did I really just spend that much fucking money on this? But I don't really regret it anymore because I'm kind of excited to do it. I really want to try and make some new friends in 2021. Whether that's making friends via proxy of other people I know or just making straight up new ass friends. I don't know. I'll try and be a bit more sociable in 2021 though. Because in 2020 I was very shut-in-y. I didn't really talk to a lot of people or try and make new friends. Because I still don't really value myself as a person, which is, you know, it's a hard thing to get over when you have issues like me. So I'll try and work on that. And in terms of, fuck, what else could I possibly talk about? In terms of YouTube and Twitch. No, nothing's really gonna change. I don't really want to change anything. I'm perfectly fine where everything is right now. Sure, I'd like to be a bit more popular, but hey, who doesn't, you know? And I'm not really one of those people who feeds off of popularity or drama. So, I don't really... I'm not desperate to become famous, you know? I'm not one of those people. I don't give a shit about popularity or fame. I just kind of want to hang out with my friends, and I do that in the forms of hanging out in Discord, streaming on Twitch, and making podcasts, whether by myself or with them. So oh, the volume was alright. When I listened to my test recording, it was alright. I don't know why I'm asking myself when I'm 35 minutes in to the recording, but you can see how I plan things, which is I don't. So I'm not quite sure what 2020 will hold for me or the channel, but I got fingers crossed it'll be a good year. 2020 was not a good year for anybody, including me. I had some family pass away. I let my physical health and my mental health go a lot. I'm still kind of neglecting my physical and mental health because, you know, it's not easy. I want to say it's easy, but it's not. It's a struggle. Every day's a struggle, but you got to keep trying every day, and it gets easier. I think if I record this podcast more regularly, along with appearing on the KazKast, I think it'll be a lot better for me to have a more scheduled life. So hopefully that'll help. Yeah, 2020 was a bit rough for me, in all honesty. I had quite a few mental breakdowns. Oh man, I had this really bad one this one night. Woohoo! Man, remembering that night, oh man. It was the kind of type where you're laying on... It was a kind of mental breakdown where you're laying on your side in the fetal position, hugging yourself and crying. That one was bad. I'm not quite in such a mental state anymore. Sometimes I get to that point, but I think I'm not the greatest at bouncing back, but I try and bounce back when I can. And like I said, some days are better than others, and not every day is going to be perfect. That goes for you guys too. You guys remember, not everything has to be perfect, especially not you. So treat yourselves with kindness, because I sure as hell ain't gonna. Myself, that is. I'll treat you guys with kindness. As much as I can muster, at least. I think I'm a nice person. Well, am I a nice person? I can be if I like you. I can be a dick if I don't like you. I suppose it doesn't really matter. But yeah, remember, treat yourselves with kindness, and really treat others with kindness when you can, because shit's fucked right now. Let's be honest with each other. Shit's fucked. Everyone's stressed. Everyone's pissed off. So let's not get on each other's... Oh, fuck. You can't... Let's not hate each other any more than we have to. You know what I mean? We're only on this earth for a relatively short amount of time in reality, so we should make the most of it. And in my opinion, spending all that time pissed off at other people, it's kind of a waste. You kind of just waste the energy being pissed off at people who don't really matter in your life. Now, that being said, I'm not telling you to be a pacifist and to love everyone. If someone's a piece of shit, they're a piece of shit. There ain't no fixing that. But being uselessly mean. I'm not a fan of it anymore. I'm tired. I used to be when I was younger, I used to be a very cynical person. I still am to an extent, but when I was younger, oh man, I was an edgy kid. I hated everyone. I didn't hate everyone. I just thought everyone didn't like me. And I still think that to a certain extent, because I'm not likable. But if I were to give my high school self any advice at all, I would probably tell him to love himself more. Give yourself a break. It goes for you guys too. You don't have to be so critical of yourself all the time. The world's gonna do that for you. You gotta learn to love yourself. Well, 40 minutes, I think that's pretty long at this point. Do I have anything else to talk about? Let me think. In terms of things I am looking forward to playing and possibly reviewing at a future point, I will I'm most likely gonna... Well, the main thing I'm excited for, maybe the only thing I'm excited for in the future, is the new Monster Hunter Rise. I have played the demo of Monster Hunter Rise, and I've used every single weapon in the demo, and boy howdy, am I happy with the changes they made to some of the things. Boy howdy. The hunting horn? Woo-hoo-hoo. How could you not find breakdancing with a giant stone horn cool? Like, how... It's impossible. It's the sickest thing in the world, and it's actually useful now? Come on. How could you not use the hunting horn? The feeling of Monster Hunter Rise is very, very good. At least to me. I've heard complaints about the hammer and the greatsword, but from what I don't really play hammer that often, but it was alright, I guess. Greatsword was very akin to Monster Hunter World, which I liked the greatsword in Monster Hunter World, so I don't really have a problem with that. But you guys know, well, maybe you guys don't know me, but I'm a Switch Axe main at heart. Ever since Monster Hunter 3, or Monster Hunter Tri, or whatever the fuck it's called, I have used nothing but the Switch Axe. Well, that's not true. I started out with the greatsword in Freedom Unite on the PSP, but once they introduced the Switch Axe, how could I not use it? It's the perfect balance of offense and speed. Faster than the greatsword. Faster than the greatsword, but more damaging than the dual blades, and harder hitting than the longsword. And they brought back the Monster Hunter World stab in the leg while you explode animation. Man, how could you not love the Switch Axe? According to Monster Hunter statistics, though, Switch Axe is one of the least used weapons in the series, and that's messed up. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. The Switch Axe is a good weapon. How can you not like it? It's amazing. I could probably kill any Elder Dragon with my eyes closed with a fucking Switch Axe. It's the best. Hands down my favorite. But on that note, we're coming up on about 44 minutes here, and I think that's a long time for a solo podcast when I didn't have a script and I didn't have my topics written down. I think I did pretty well, considering I've never recorded anything like this before, so I'm gonna upload this as soon as it's done, honestly, but you guys don't want to hear about that. Well, if you made it this far, thank you for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're even sleeping to this. Don't know why you'd listen to me while falling asleep. I feel like you'd have a nightmare with me in it. But, yeah, thank you for watching, listening, tuning in. I like to use that word, tuning in, to this episode 11 of the KazKast. I have been your host, KazGator, and hope to see you guys next time I record one of these. As always, you can find links to my Twitch, Twitter, and do I include my Discord link? I don't think I do. Whatever, that's on my Twitch anyways. In the description, you will find those in case you want to either keep up with me or let me know what I'm doing wrong. And as always, I appreciate any comments, concerns, or topics you want me to talk about in the comments. So, hope you have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, whatever the hell time it is you're listening to this. And I'll see you next time. Good night.